Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. Today is part 2 of how to get your home ready to show on the interior. Now, a few things you may want to do before you really dive into anything is kind of walk around the house, see what rooms really have a lot of clutter, a lot of furniture, pictures, things like that. And then you want to probably declutter that room a little bit so your new buyers that are coming in can actually visualize their furniture and their things in the room and see how big the rooms are actually at. The other thing you may want to do, and getting back to the declutterization, is if you have other rooms in a home that aren't really being utilized, maybe you can take some of that furniture and kind of stage those rooms with that furniture. Or what you may be able to do is, I've seen this done, people have rented pods, left them in their driveways. It's not too bad. Others have just rented storage space if they have a way to get their furniture and belongings there. It's going to do one of two things too. It's going to protect it and it'll help your house show a lot easier. Second thing is depersonalize your home somewhat. If you're one that has a lot of pictures of family and mementos and past vacations on walls and furniture and bookcases and nightstands and things like that, you may want to take some of that down, kind of depersonalize it, so when the new buyers come in, they can kind of vision themselves living there, because they're not always turning around and seeing a picture of your aunt or your uncle or your grandmother or your kids, and they kind of feel a little weird sometimes, you know, seeing that over and over and over. Not saying you have to take everything down, but just tone it back a little bit. To get to the other portion of it is, once you declutterize and you take some things down off the walls, you may notice that you may need to paint. Painting, I know a lot of people don't like to do it, but it will help your house sell. If you don't like doing it on your own, hire a painter. It may cost you a few $100 to $1,000, but in the long run, you're going to get a lot more money for your house, because somebody will think that you actually take care of your home. Not that you don't, but that you actually, go that extra mile to make sure everything is kept clean and things like that. Especially if you have pictures on the walls, they're going to see the outlines of the pictures. Paint does get old after a while. You may not realize it until you put a new coat on, how dull the paint can get, scratches and scuffs. Another thing you may want to do is new flooring. Buy some new carpet. Carpeting is somewhat cheap on the lower end. You don't have to put high-end stuff in. You're selling the house, but you want to make it look nice and respectable. A few other things that have always been brought up to me is, well, should we redo the kitchen? Should we redo the bathrooms? I kind of always tell my clients no, for a few reasons. A, it's going to cost you a lot of money. You're probably not going to recoup that money back that you put into it. B, you may do something, color choices with the cabinets, with the countertops, with the style of countertops, with the style of cabinets, your flooring that you put in. All of those things are all personalized. And the new buyers may not like that. Great, you redid your kitchen, you spent $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on it. I don't like the design and the way they walk. Same thing with bathrooms. Bathrooms you can kind of get away with a little bit because it's not too much of a personalization. So if you wanted to throw a few grand into a bathroom, I might be able to, look upon that and say, yeah, it's a good idea to do, especially if they're really, really outdated. So occasionally what I will do is I will just tell my buyers, look, let's just price the house reasonable enough, get it sold, and let the new buyers do what they want to do with it. Another thing you want to do is anything that you have of personal value, whether it be family heirlooms, whether it's expensive pieces of art or furniture or guitars or instruments or things like that, you may want to get them out of the house for a few reasons. Number one, accidents happen. You don't want somebody accidentally knocking into something knocking, a vase over that was in the family for years and years and years and years. So if you don't want to put it in storage, maybe pack it up in a box, maybe just put it up in the attic, put it out in your garage, put it in your basement, somewhere where it's not going to be touched. The same thing goes with prescription medicines. You don't have to lock them up under key, in a safe or something like that, but just put them somewhere in a cabinet that wandering eyes just may not see them and pick them up. It's better to be safe than sorry, because some of you that are on medications need them to live and survive. So it's just, some people are out there just to, screw with other people, unfortunately. And, even though you have realtors there, all you need to do is get separated, and, something could get broken, something could get lost, something could get stolen. It's happened. Not saying it would ever happen to you, but it has happened, and you're better off safeguarding yourself against that. A few other things that you could do is any kind of safety updates that are needed within the home, do them now. It's going to be cheaper and less aggravation and stress to take care of those things, such as GFIs in older bathrooms and older kitchens. Just pay an electrician to come in and do it now, because you're not going to have to waste your time after a home inspection, during contracts, to have somebody come in and do that. Because if you have to have somebody come in, they may have to open a wall, they may have to do this, they may have to do that. You're better off getting that done, fixed, and cleaned up before you put the house on the market, because it's just going to cause a bunch of aggravation later on. So if you know that you have bad GFIs or bad, old receptacles or handrails that are loose within the house, carpet or tile that's peeling up, it could cause a safety hazard. Ceiling fans that aren't working properly and things like that. These are all cheap fixes that can make you a lot more money at the end, because you're not going to have a buyer come in and say, hey, look, we don't have GFIs here. We want this fixed, or we want X amount of dollars off the price. And then you go and fix it, and they don't like the fixes and the way they walk. So you've still done something, lost a buyer, had the house on the market. So it's just a lot easier to just do that all once you before you even put the house on the market, seriously. If you have any other comments, put them down below. I'll answer any of your questions you have, and hopefully you guys will have a great sailing experience with these few tips. Thanks for watching. Bye.